Hey everyone, Jody from Bear Dog Offroad Adventures here. Today we're going to show you how we install our new diff drop from Dobinsons. Stay tuned. So first things first, not much to this kit. It's very self-explanatory. Once you get under and look at your bracket, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is the bracket itself. You'll notice that these portions will set down farther than the factory, and we'll show you that once we get the factory bracket off. We'll take some side-by-side pictures. These two use the factory bolts that go in the frame, and so does this piece. And there's a little threaded hole right here to match the one that comes with the factory. So like for us, this is where our one of our skid plates mounts from Talon's garage for the front. A lot of factory skid plates mount in this hole. So the good thing is they got threaded, so you should be good. I like how they cut that gap, whereas some of the do-it-yourselves more arc and therefore run into some interference with the skids. So we got that. It comes with, the only hardware it comes with are these 3 spacer washers, a bolt and a nut. Now this is for your diff tube mount. So as you all know, we had the Bronco Buster on ours, so I don't anticipate there being any issues. But basically the way the instructions, which you can print off on their website, has one spacer under the diff tube mount and 2 above, and of course with this nut on there, and that basically tilts the front of the diff down. I was told about 3/4 inches is what this thing lowers the diff for. As many of you guys know, we've had some issues with our RCVs. We recently had landing straps put on, so this is going to be just a little bit more insurance. We got this on a Black Friday sale from our friends over at Exit Off-Road, so it cut about $20–30 off the price, which not that bad. So we're going to get this on. Like I said, we have the instructions we printed off of the website that gives you a pretty much straightforward. Like I said, this should not be a hard install. It should only last about an hour. You know, we will use our Badlands jack because it does say in the instructions that you're supposed to support the diff while you're doing this, which if you think about it, makes sense. So we'll look at our diff tube before we go lowering it. We might not be able to show you everything on camera because the diff is way up in the frame. I don't know if I can get my cameras under there since I don't have a lift. I'm going to be doing this on the concrete with the creeper. Box come in. We've used Dobinsons USA before, by the way. When we had a Toyota 4Runner, we had their MRA or MAA suspension system in, and it was amazing. I know our friend over at Off the Grind uses it in his Bronco. They got a Bronco kit out now. It didn't come out till way after we bought our coilovers, but it was amazing. 3-way adjustable. It was pretty awesome. So Dobinsons is a really reputable brand in the Toyota world, so they've dwelled into the Bronco world a little bit. So we can't wait to try this out and see how it works. So hang tight. All right, for our purposes, what we needed for this install was a 10mm socket, a 15mm socket, a flathead screwdriver or pry bar, dead blow hammer, of course, socket wrench for these, impact wrench with a 21mm socket and an 18mm socket, as well as a 24mm wrench. All right, as you see here, now we have braced our differential with the Badlands jack. We already removed this down. See it shifted down just a little bit, so we may have to push it back up. Maybe not once we get the bracket in. So anyway, had to do a little learning here. So some of these brackets, the nut is tack welded to the bracket, and some of them aren't. So we reached out to Dobinsons and let them know. We did have some spare of these whenever we did our 4-link conversion back. You want to pause it there as a part number. You can get those directly from Ford, not expensive. And then you basically just reuse your same bolt that came out of it. And this was a 21mm impact socket that took that out. Now, to use this nut on the back, and keep in mind it's locking, so you know, to use Loctite, you'll need a 24-inch wrench to hold it while you're pounding the other one back in. So be mindful of that. So what we're going to do, so we already got that one out. We get that out, tested out. We're going to take these 2 right here out. We're going to loosen these up and get those out so we can push this out of the way so we can get this one. Because we have to get to that one. As you can see, there's no direct shot to it, so you have to loosen these up. move this thing. I don't know if this is part of the air conditioner or what it's part of, but anyway, you have to move it up. So we get that up out of the way to get to that one, get this one on. All right, so this is a 10 millimeter. So you'll just want to take these two, loosen them up, because this thing slides up and down. I'm not going to take them all the way. I'm just going to slide them up and down, or loosen enough to where I can slide that thing up to get a direct shot at that one. I'm hoping that one may also take one of these bolts I had left over that I just showed you all for the other bolt. If not, I did buy some spare hardware from Ace Hardware to toss in there. So we'll see here in just a minute. All right, so we got the bracket out. So this thing was a hard time getting out. You had to kind of like bend it down all the way, and it finally fell out. So, but anyway, like I said before, the nuts on these were kind of welded in. So we did tell Dobinsons about that, because I know somebody else that we talked to on the forums had the same issue. So we did confirm that the spare nuts that I bought for the rear suspension conversion back do fit both this hole and that hole over there. So we're going to get the new bracket in, not tighten everything down, but get thread loosely. And then we got to go up here to this diff tube bolt right there, and we'll have to take it out, put some spacers in, and put it back in. So they gave us the longer bolt with the kit, so it should work, but we'll find out here shortly. I get some artificial out here to help us out. But here's a comparison. You can see that this Dobinsons bracket's every bit as thick as the other one. The only differences I note is that there's no, that piece right there is not on the new one, and this lip isn't there, which I'm not really sure if you need those. But like I said before, and like I said, we reached out to Dobinson. I know there was another guy. Now, he just removed the spot welds and reused these. But I think we're going to go a different route. And something else to note, too. You notice how there's that little nut welded in right there? Well, the Dobinson kit does have that, which is very important if you're like us and you have skid plates that utilize that hole. So you make sure you want to have that. But you can see here, actually, when I look at it, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the thickness of this piece, it's a little bit bigger than the one on the stock. A tad bit thicker. So that's really comforting to know. So anyway, we'll get the other one slot back on here. And as you can see, there is a difference in height. I don't know how to really measure that. I'm trying to get this as level with it as I can. This one, where this one's a straight shot, and this one goes out and down. So it's farther out and farther down. So it shifts it down. Now, Dobinson says it's 3/4 of an inch difference as far as the total differential drop. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's linear to the difference between these two. So if this is about 1 inch down, but it's farther out, it's just going to tilt that differential this way and lower it down a little bit. So just going to just finish this install and see how we have as far as clearance with the skid plate. All right, so we got it to work with this piece, the diff tube. It's just too tight to show you guys what is in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, there's 2 spacers in between the bracket and the mount. And there's a spacer here for the instructions. It was a bitch to get those 2 spacers to line up to the bolt. And we also had to use a pry bar to push this thing back to get this started, to get the thread started. They give you an extra nut, but it has a welded nut on the back side of mine, so I didn't have to use that. Thank God, because if I'd have had to try and find my way to get that in there, that would have been hard. I'd say this is probably where you might need a second set of hands or something. You didn't necessarily have to have a second set of hands, but it definitely would not hurt to have one, because I had to jack the truck up to get my big body underneath it. If you're real skinny or you got small arms, might not be as difficult for you, but it was a doozy. So just be forewarned on that. But anyway, we got that up there. We got it good and tight, so now we just got to come out here and tighten up everything else. All right, we are done. So we're going to put the skid plate back on and see if there's any interference. Hopefully not. We got some spacers just in case. If need be, we can go buy some more. Okay, so you can see the diff right there, how it's relation to the skid plate. I mean, it's pretty close. It's right there on it. So I don't know if I can say it's not touching it, but if it is, it's not by a whole lot. And we use those little spacers for the skid plates. They're about maybe tiny bit less than 1/4 of an inch. So be mindful of that. Some people may be like, "Oh, I don't want to put spacers on my skids. You know, or I'm gonna lose my ground clearance." Well, I used to be that same mind frame too, but now I'd rather have slightly teeny tiny bit lower ground clearance than CV axle brake. So that's just my opinion. All right, so there it is. Pretty close. I don't think it's, like I said, if it's touching, it's just barely. But I'm not noticing any extra noises or vibrations when driving it. So I'm going to say that this is okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Please consider that like and subscribe button so we can grow the channel more. We'll put some links down below in case you guys want to get one of these for yourself. Like I said, not too hard of an install. Pretty quick and easy. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram.